Tonight, the city of Huntsville responded to accusations brought forward from the Huntsville Police Citizens Advisory Council. How Huntsville's police chief reacted to the findings. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Naja Sherman.
And I'm Dan Schaefer. The city responded at a regularly scheduled Huntsville City Council work session tonight.
During that meeting, the city's administrator was the one to present the city's response to the council, not the police chief. But the chief did speak to us after the work session. He acknowledged there's room for improvement at the department.
Well, the main takeaway is that we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of miscommunication, as it pointed out, but there's a lot of ways we can get better.
WAAY 31's Ashley Carter joins us live outside City Council chambers.
Ashley, you were in that meeting. What was the city's response to the report?
City Administrator John Hamilton presented on the police department's behalf, but Chief McMurray did respond to some of the questions and recommendations that the council members did have. Now, while some of the report acknowledged the findings, most of it focused on the discrepancies inside the findings.
This is one training record for one officer with over 20 years on the force.
With thousands of pages worth of training materials in hand, City Administrator John Hamilton disputed the report's claim that training documents were not given to the Advisory Council for them to review. He says the training records amount to thousands of pages, and printing them off would have been an inefficient way to assist the advisory's investigation. Hamilton says they did, however, offer the Advisory Council another way to view the documents.
They were offered the opportunity to come here and review those in their current form, much electronic, more efficient way to do that. Now, I think it's very unfortunate that they ultimately did not have a review of those documents.
Another issue Hamilton had with the report was a claim that the city forbid officers to speak to the council. Hamilton says the Advisory Council gave them a list of officers they wanted to speak to, and they gave those officers the opportunity, but it was voluntary.
The officers were not barred from speaking. They were notified of that, and it is absolutely true that none of those officers chose to speak. That's very unfortunate.
Hamilton also pointed out that the tear gas was not used during the June protest. He said it was CS gas instead. He says the reason behind using CS gas was to create distance between police and protesters, and says the actions taken by the department that night were justified.
All of their actions were designed to disperse the crowd, and the irritants are one of the ways in which you communicate to people and then ultimately convince them that they need to leave.
When asked about some council members asking for accountability and new policies for the police department, Chief McMurray said this.
Well, those are going to bring some great discussions because some of these measures are being tried in other cities already, and some of them are brand new to the legal field. So those are some interesting concepts, and that's the great thing about an advisory committee, isn't it?
The city council and mayor only took the time to respond and give recommendations after the presentation. Nothing was voted on, and the next city council meeting is scheduled in May. Live in Huntsville, Ashley Carter, WAAY 31 News.